Good evening. I hope you guys are good. It's been what? 3 hours? A little bit over that since I seen you last? Give everybody a little bit of time before they come on and we will get into the topic. I have been getting, it hasn't stopped. To say that I have been getting, to say that I've been getting calls recently, I guess recently, not like in the last week or so, I've been getting so many more calls. Just people just saying like, man, things are getting kind of crazy here. You know, is this something that I need to take a look at? And when I say take a look at, are people looking to move out of the United States? Now, if you're not looking and you're not considering, this might not be for you. But if you know somebody that is considering moving out of the United States, please make certain that they see this. Share the live. They need to see this. We want to cover some things each night. Tonight is escaping the American rat race and what that looks like. See, and even in Canada, it can be bad too there. And we're gonna get into who I am, why it is that I moved, why you might want to even pay attention to me realistically, because I've done it. You guys might be considering it, but I have already taken the first steps, the second steps, all 6 steps that it is that you need to go about moving abroad and what that actually looks like. So please make certain you guys are sharing this for somebody. It might not be you, but somebody needs to hear this. So make certain you guys are sharing this live. We are on 6:30 every night, Monday through Friday. We have a different topic each night. We've got some special guests that come on, different experts that we have. They range from healthcare, immigration, real estate, both people that are renting, people that are looking to buy property. All of these things are designed to help you guys if you're looking to, move to another country. A lot of the things that we talk about, one, they are specific to Colombia. However, many of the things and topics that we do deal with are relatively broad enough where if you start acting and thinking this way, you're going to be able to take this information and apply it to multiple different places. Now, truth and honesty, as always, I will never tell you like you can just take one place and just apply it to the next. No. However, when moving abroad, there are so many things that you have to do, and as far as the legwork, the homework that you have to do, and moving abroad that you guys are going to learn here. So make certain if somebody you've been talking to is said, "Hey, I've been interested in moving abroad. I just don't know where to start." This is the place. And I'm not saying I'm the only place. I tell you guys what it is and how all of the steps it is that I took. Now, when it comes to, you know, how I moved, why I moved, escaping the American rat race, I think we need to start there. The American rat race, and depending on where you are, it could be different. It could be a Canadian rat race. It could be a Parisian rat race. It all depends on where you are in life. I say that is because so many of us have been conditioned. We have been conditioned to grow up in our environment, and depending on what kind of environment you have, I feel like America. You might go to different states, but we don't really grow up going to different countries. We have a melting pot, but there are so many situations where people are feeling like, oh, you're in America, be America. Like, and I understand that in some ways, but I will tell you that so many people are still considering moving abroad, even with proximities to closer places. People in Europe definitely move around a lot more than people are familiar in the United States. State to state, city to city, yeah. But abroad, this might be the first like big hill for you. It was for me. Even as a person that was consistently traveling, when I had to realize to actually take all my things and put them in a bag, like that was a big step for certain. So, for you guys that do not know me, my name is RJ. I live out here in Medellin, Colombia. I have been out here going on 2 years in March, which at this point seems like tomorrow. I'm originally from Philadelphia, and the opportunity to move abroad, it it kind of came all at once. And getting into that, it it wasn't just one thing. It so in America we deal with so many things that you remember when certain things weren't the norm and then they became the norm. Give you an example. Maybe you guys are old enough to remember when you were kids and you could go to the airport and wait for somebody at the gate. You didn't need a airport bag or a ticket. Now that's something as small as that, but consider that. Now, the norm in the United States is not that, and the norm in the world is not that anymore. But at one point, you could do those things. Um, the norm in the United States is given to everybody as if it's the normal. It's actually how the world works. But as you travel, you start to see little things differently. You start to see things where you're like, so mass incidents, those aren't normal around the world. Yet we see them every day. And we grew up in a time frame where that was not a thing. And then it became a thing. And the first time it happened, everybody was outraged and we need to do something. And nothing ever got done. So when we talk about moving abroad and kind of waking up from the things that we have considered norm, like it's normal to see these things. Now, nobody wants to be a part of them, but seeing them on the news and the media is very it's just a part of the cadence. So, that was one thing that when I was traveling, I realized like, they're as I'm talking to people, they're not when I say this, or I'm sitting in a room and I'm abroad and talking with some friends and I say, "Oh man, there was a mass incident today and so and so happened," and they're like, "Why would something like that happen?" Now, mind you, we already know that that's normal. It's not that it's supposed to be; it just is. So when we talk about what was the reason that sparked my decision, that was one thing for certain. I moved from South Florida. I'm originally from Philadelphia, but moved from South Florida, and I say that is because I lived there for long enough to see the prices go up after the pandemic. And what I realized was I was paying a lot of money monthly. As a business owner, I was like, this is a lot of money. Like, it wasn't like somebody was going to give me a raise or anything else. And at the same time, things kept going up. So I was like, 3,000 bucks. What's up? 3,000 bucks for a 2x2, plus you got to pay electricity. What is that? Water. We were living in a place that you had to buy recycling bags of the city and trash bags of the city that were like $15 for like 5 bags of each. So those things add up, and you look up and you're spending a lot of money. No, for certain. Southeast Asia. That is a heck of and we're gonna talk about that tonight because that goes into. I see you said you're looking to move to Southeast Asia. That is definitely a journey, and we'll talk about how I ended up here and why I went into my decision of Medellin because it was a lot of factors that went in. We're talking about why I left. When I looked up and I was spending so much money, and I'm like, I don't own anything, and this money, like, it actually turns into something. I tell people, make sure you start looking at the money that you receive as the number of hours it took you, because those hours are hours away from friends, family, things that you may want to do. Not saying everybody hates their job, but most of the time you would not want to be to work. You would rather the money without the work, and you could use the money to go do things. But life doesn't work like that. So when we were looking at like leaving, it was just like I'm spending so much money already just to keep doing it again every month. And what happened was that we talk about the rat race. It was like, okay, I make money. They you give me a raise. You say you work at a job, right? They give you a raise. Cool. At the end they say, oh, it's $10,000 a year. Well, $10,000 a year is less than $900 a month. So if somebody gave you extra $10,000 a year, it's less than $900 a month before taxes. So when you actually look at what a $10,000 a year raise could look like, and most people aren't even getting that on a year basis. $10,000 a year, less than $1,000 a month. Taxes might take that to like 5, 6. They're like, cool, I gave him $600 a month extra, so $300 a check, right? That wasn't what was happening. Because at the same time I was getting that extra $600 a month, $300 a check, what else was happening? Gas went up. The price of eggs went up. So many things went up that I actually have to buy into, that I actually have to go and say, hey, I need these things. So the $300 to $600 I was getting extra went like out the window. You got to use gas to get to work. Things people had to get new cars breaking down. The price of getting a used car and a new car are all in hell at this point. $1,000 a month Infinities and Corollas, and it was just like, nah, I'm just not gonna keep paying this. And talking to people that lived abroad, it just seemed like if I could take that money that I was making, and I had already been working remotely before the pandemic, and I just kept doing it. And then once this opportunity came, it was like, I mean, if you make $5,000 a month or even 4,000, you could cut that into like half or maybe even 60% discount, maybe less, maybe less, depending on how you want to live. So these things are really important to me because I was trading my time and my energy away from my friends, my family, things that I wanted to do in life. Is that where you are? Because that's where I was, and I said, yeah, I need to get out of here. But then I saw somebody with the Southeast Asia question. Even though I was working remotely, I still needed to be on 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, like relatively. So when I looked at this, I said, okay, well, that's going to cut half the world out. Southeast Asia is not going to work. I'm going to be a day ahead of everybody. I don't want to have to stay up all night working just to be able to say that I was in the place that I wanted to be. And until I can free myself from 9 to 5, I need to stay on that time frame. So places that came up were relatively based off of what it is that I want to do. What was it? Mexico. I heard Playa del Carmen, Merida. Where else did I hear? Belize. I was considering that. Panama was the place. Costa Rica, and Colombia for certain. I had a unique scenario. Colombia was a little bit higher on my radar because I have been bringing people here as a group curator since like 2018. Came out here in 2017, and then 2018 I decided, hey, come back and bring some friends, and I just kept bringing more friends. So it was on my radar, but I knew I didn't want to go to Cartagena. Cartagena was too hot. Even coming from South Florida, it was too hot, and it was too small, just way too small. I'm a big city guy. I'm from Philadelphia. I lived in Atlanta. I was used to like city stuff, so I didn't want to go to Cartagena. And realistically, Medellin offered a couple of things. One, half of the year we're on Eastern time, half of the year we're on Central time, so not too bad from a situation of timing and working and things of that nature. I don't need to be up in the middle of the night to be able to work. Two, I put on a jacket tonight. It was a little cooler. But realistically, this is the city of eternal spring. So what that means is it's, daytime 70 to 80 degrees during the day. Evening time 55, 65. It's a little cooler tonight. So I got a jacket on, but it's always the same temperature. That was important to me. Anybody knows me, I don't need to necessarily be hot, but I don't really want to be like cold, like at all. So everybody knows me in Philadelphia. They're like, yeah, we're probably not going to see him unless something crazy happens during the wintertime. After first or second week of October and probably until like the end of April, I'm like, all right, guys, like I'll see y'all, when the weather breaks. I'm like the groundhog, but like a little bit later. Realistically, those were all important things that were, and it was easy to get back to the United States. So I moved from South Florida. So I had a storage unit there. I was able to get back to the United States in one shot. I'm from Philadelphia, so I was able to get straight to JFK in one shot. And then take a train to Philadelphia. It was like super easy versus going into Florida and then taking another flight. Like it was a little bit easier to do that. So for me, it was a proximity thing. It was a comfortability thing. I knew a little Spanish. My Spanish, I think I learned Spanish backwards because I learned Spanish in Cartagena. Like I went to high school and learned that Spanish, but like the conversational Spanish, I learned that in Cartagena, which anybody knows is like learning English in Mississippi. Not saying Cartagena is Mississippi, but I'm just saying like learning from a southern dialect way. Whereas in Medellin, it's a different cadence. I would say it's a little bit more, slower, but that is where I learned my Spanish. So I felt comfortable. Um, I felt comfortable literally being in a situation where Medellin was on my radar. So getting out of the American rat race, it was important because I knew that they didn't use the US dollar, which was good because that meant that I was going to be using local money, which meant that hopefully favorably by doing my research I found out okay, the United States dollar is going to go further in Colombia than it is in the United States. Whereas you can't really use coins anymore. Maybe if you go to Aldi and you put the little quarter in the grocery, the buggy, but that's it. Like you can't go. Remember they had a dollar menu. Greetings. I appreciate Uganda tapping in for certain. Um, Remember the dollar menu in the U.S. Doesn't it doesn't exist anymore. $5 foot long. Yeah, that was a campaign that no longer exists. Endless shrimp. We see that almost cripple Red Lobster. So some of these things are like, we look at it and it's like escaping the American rat race comes down to not only like how much everything costs and how much they're willing to give you for your time and money back, but it's just what is the American dream anymore? It's at this point, me and a large amount of people are starting to believe that the American dream is actually to leave. It's to take the blue passport, is to take the money that you're able to make, find a way to make money online, whether it's, a remote work job. There's numerous amounts of ways at this point. But do that and do your best at living the best life that you can. Come into communities and cultures with an open mind, ready to learn, knowing that you are a foreigner in foreign land. Do keep that in mind and first and foremost. However, the opportunity to take what life would have given you and make something way bigger was a lot clearer with moving out of the United States than it was staying there. I was just happy to, go out, be able to afford what I want, do a couple of vacations. But here it's easier to travel. So if travel is your heart, it's going to be hard in the United States as things continue to get higher. I didn't think when I was looking to move that things were going to be like, okay, because once you open the door of finances, they don't close. Once somebody knows if the price of something is $7 and then they start charging $10 for it and everybody keeps buying it at the pace that they charge at $7, why would they go back to $7? That is what we are seeing in America. The price of things continuously rise. Think people getting comfortable with squeezing blood out of nickels and pennies and literally saying, okay, let's see if we had another dollar. Imagine if the tariff situation happens and these things rise by 25%. Yeah, wages don't rise by 25%. Now, I've been almost here for 2 years, but you guys are in a situation where these things might happen in less than 2 months. What are you going to do? That was what I was faced with, but I would say I had a lot easier clip. My rent, my lease was coming up at my place, and it just coincided with like I'm out of here. My cousin was getting married in Cartagena, like a week after I was supposed to move. I was like, man, this is lining up. This is lining up. But I literally had to factor all of those things into why was I actually looking to move? Like, I want more out of my life. I'm not willing to just keep giving my money to the machine and saying, okay, I'm gonna sign up every month, and every month I've got to like, hopefully, have a little extra just to be able to continue to, feed the machine, feed the machine. But what if I wanted to be the machine? But not a machine in the sense of, I need to consume things, but a machine in the sense of my ability to travel and traverse the world and learn new things and become a part of different communities and meet new people that speak the same language as me, that are doing the same things, people that are living other places that don't speak the same language as me, that didn't have the same journey as me, but somehow still ended up in the exact same place that I am at the exact same time. Do you know how important and powerful those things are? You just don't know until you're actually doing them. So when I did an assessment of what all the stuff and things I had in the States, what's up, my boy? What it was that I was possibly gaining, the things I was losing. My family is there. Majority, shoot, all of my friends, I left all of them. I left all of them. You know why? Because I wasn't willing to wait. I wasn't willing to wait for what it was that I knew was for me. I knew that travel was an important thing for me. I knew that being able to spend quality time in a situation where I'm not overworked was important. I don't have any children, I got a little puppy, but like I wanted to give myself a better chance than what America signed me up for. I did the American dream. I went to high school and then I went to college. I did that in 4 years. I got out, I got a degree, went into the workforce and then realized, this is a little different than what it is that y'all told me. And that was probably when I started waking up and realizing something wasn't always the same way that I was being sold it. Now, I still had to continue on, but it was just so many things of friction where I looked and was like, there's no way. There's no way that I'm going to trade the next. I'm 37 years old. People people are not making it to 67. There's no way that I'm going to trade the next 30 years to not be in a scenario where I've lived and seen everything that it is that I wanted to see. If you stay exactly where you are and keep doing exactly what you're doing, you will trade the next 30 years in getting exactly what it is that they wanted you to have. What are you willing to do to break the mold? What are you willing to do to stop the cycle? My father saw the world, but his father before him never saw that. So I'm the second person to get out and see these things. But what if I could only see it at a clip? What if I could only afford to see it because I've got to work? I've got to buy the stuff and the things that they told me were going to make my life happy. I had to do all of these things that were designed to keep me in the United States. Now, I'm not saying that people don't make great money in the United States. That's wrong. However, that's like me looking at 10 people and pointing out one of them and saying that man is doing great. 9 people sitting there looking at me with sob stories in their face, but I'm one to go point at the one. Now, you might be doing fine. I'm not saying that you aren't. But even if you are doing fine, imagine if that doing fine could look a little different. I say you make $20,000 a month. And you could take that and put that in 25% and spend $5,000 a month. You would live way better than you do in the United States now and spending $20,000 just trying to say that you live there. I promise you that. And you don't even have to spend that. You got to come here with the etiquette. And we talk about that. And I won't get into that topic. Today is more so about why you may be looking to leave and getting out of the American rat race that they sold you that was going to change your life. I think the only way that you are going to break any generational curses is having a different perspective, not only living in a different way and doing different things, but you have to have a different perspective because the thought of it is the first step to you going and actually taking the like physical first step. You tired already. You're tired. I already know. I talk to people all the time. Like I said, my friends and family, they're in the United States. Tired. Tired. We talked about finances. We talked about, mass incidents. We didn't even talk about, being a black person in the United States. Those are other things that we have to worry about that maybe other people don't consider. Conversations that are had with parents, conversations that your parents had with you about walking outside, how to conduct yourself, how to operate, these kind of things. Those are all things that we have become normalized with and how to live life in the States. Got to go outside with clean drawers. You might get, arrested. What am I going to do? Does that matter at this point? No. The moment that they made prisons for profit was the moment that all of this, like, it wasn't the moment, but it was like, come on now. Anytime a business is for profit, that means what, ladies and gentlemen of the class? That means they have to make money. They're not going to they're not a nonprofit, they're for profit. So we have already seen people, the states being sued by businesses saying we don't have enough people in the beds. What does that mean for y'all that are there? Like, are you just another person that can be in the bed very soon? That's the reality of what it is that you guys. And I was like, nah, I am okay. You know why? Because I'm not saying, and I don't use the words third world, because the United States is third world. How can you say a country is a third world country when you are either unhealth cared or don't or can't afford it and are going broke and homeless for health care when people have universal health care in other places that you call third world country? How you calling places a hoopty from a hoopty? Come on now. Like seriously, like people don't need to like people here, if you go to work every day and somebody employs you, you will make enough to live. You will have a house, a place to live, apartment. You will get food. You can feed yourself. Now, you're not going to have the best of things. That would be telling tall tales. However, we know so many people in America that have two jobs and still are homeless and living in a car and or a shelter. But America, right? We the best. Come on now, y'all. Come on, man. Y'all gotta see this stuff. They're selling y'all up the river. We find Americans finance free healthcare in other countries and don't have it for Americans. Yeah, you are spending all your money. The biggest thing I can do is either one, you be retired, two, you be a vet, or three, you make money online. If you aren't one of those things, you are going to have an issue unplugging. I had already done this when I was ready. You guys might need to start doing the work of becoming one of those three things. The easiest one is probably making money online. There's a lot of regular jobs and remote, but you got to go. If that's what's on your heart, if these things that I'm saying are resonating with you right now, then it comes back to you. We talked about some of this stuff, was why I left, and talked about walking outside and dealing with police, and dealing with the black experience abroad. I will tell you, it's going to differ. I can tell you how it is in Medellin. I can. However, if you go to Argentina or if you go to anywhere else, not just Argentina, just anywhere else, I can't tell you that. I can't. So when I like stamped in, was like, I'm out. I'm out. However, I had spent a lot more time in Cartagena, but didn't spend as much time in Medellin. So literally, I was in a scenario where, okay, I gotta like do some research, gotta like get on the ground, see what things are like. I tell people all the time, and they do not pay me to say this, but if you are looking to move abroad and you are not on Facebook, you 1000% need to start there. There are so many expat groups that are active that can give you a pulse on what it is that you are looking for. Once it is that you determine, you might say, I want to be living on the beach because you like going on vacation on the beach. However, you got to live there every day. If there's not a lot of stuff to do on the beach, what are you going to do? What you going to do? You have to actually make some real decisions. It's not moving from New Jersey to Miami. Yeah, New Jersey to Miami is going to be different too, but this is completely different. So you got to do some research. You got to get on your Facebook. You got to like start looking around, join a bunch of groups, find out what it is that people do there, literally. Because one thing I'm gonna tell you that you're not going to be ready for, I felt like at least when I came to Colombia, you go to Mexico and certain places that are like at least now, there's a lot of American speakers. There's a lot of English forward things, and not saying that there aren't English speakers in Medellin that would be telling tall tales. However, I would say there are a lot more Spanish speakers for certain, and you may run into a place where nobody speaks any English whatsoever. I say that is because you go to Mexico, and I heard that my homegirl Jazz, shout out to her, she literally was like, "Yeah, sometimes I'm at a place and it's like I feel like I'm in Atlanta. I don't feel like that in Medellin." And that was 100% important to me. Now, when you talk about the black experience, I have had more opportunities. Now, there's a huge black expat community that is down here. However, I will tell you also that there's a huge Afro Colombian community that is down here. So that is such an important thing because we're able to interact with them in ways that in other countries you might not have that. Now, when I talk about the black experience abroad, this is to Colombia because in Mexico and in those places that I mentioned or in Panama, it might not be the same. I don't know. I can tell you about Colombia. And one thing I realized when I was here that was a little different for me as far as the black experience abroad was I met so many Afro Colombians that looked just like me. I didn't know that they weren't from the States until they started speaking. And I was like, oh, okay. All right, let me turn my ears on so I can like make certain I hear everything and like try to do my best to respond. Or hopefully they speak enough English, especially when I got here. Um, but I realized like it was a scenario that when I was outside and I was dealing with people that didn't look like me, they were they were saying like I could tell that when they thought I was, like an Afro Colombian, they're like, oh, okay, they treated me like one way. But immediately when they thought I was American, or they found out I was American, they were like, oh, it was a different, it was a different, it was a different feel, and it was a marked difference because I could see the difference, and I'm like, so you guys are treating me differently, not because I'm black, because you're an American. And depending on where what feelings you may have had, what things you might have been through, you might be like somebody treats you like an yeah. So somebody treat me like an American, a little bit more like an American than I have probably felt in America, and I was a little odd about that because I was like, so this is what I'm being American feels like, going to live abroad. However, I was also like, okay, but I'm still a black person, and the only reason you literally treated me differently was because you thought I was American. Because if not, you would have treated me differently. And that was the first time in my life that I had been through that, where it was just I was treated like an American because of some blue passport, and then I realized just how much privilege I was carrying. Never mind how much American PTSD and baggage that I actually had. So that was all internal stuff. But I learned that the blue passport has some sort of like difference maker that was going to give me some sort of access or something that personally I had never experienced before. And I didn't I was aware of it immediately because I was like, okay, so people know when they're getting favoritism or getting something like on a leg up for them. Like they know and they have to know immediately. Because I knew immediately, and I was like, "Is this how that they feel? Like this how people that are judged American first? Is this how they feel? That's awesome that they feel like that, but that's widely crazy that they don't reach back sometimes. I'm like, this is insane. So the black experience abroad, that was one of the biggest things that I was not expecting. I wasn't expecting that. I knew it was black people here. I knew we were going to interact, but I didn't know that I was going to be treated differently than them. So I just figured that we're all black. They're just going to treat us differently, and that was immediately apparent. Which is why now the word gringo makes so much sense. I had like a disconnect from the word gringo because I'm like, man, you put me and somebody that is like completely to the far side in the room, and just because we're Americans, we're gringos, and I'm like, it's not like that. It's more like we have a privilege, not you. We have a privilege, and we have to. We talk about the etiquette coming here and understanding that privilege so that you can be a better person as far as for the community that you're being a part of, not coming here just raising prices just because you think, oh, everything's so much cheaper than America that I'm going to pay even more than the next man is paying just because I have the money extra. Like those things all go into, one, how your experience is, and the two, kind of getting into like what what your experience is going to be like, because I feel like people of the community, I feel like they know when you are a person that is a taker. You just take from the community. You are a person that's just here to party and throw trash on the ground and not be a part of the customs and things of that nature. I think they know that because they've seen it so much. Whereas people that are part of the community and are looking to literally um, learn things, learn language, eat certain foods, come with respect. I feel like they're treated in a way where, that's why so many people keep coming back. The people that aren't coming back are probably the people that came here with wearing America and all the baggage that comes with them on them. So, you know, you guys, when looking to escape the American rat race, you have to realize you don't need to bring the American rat race to here. And I say that is because things don't go as fast as they do in the United States. You guys are so used to the microwave. Like everything gotta be like instant. You call somebody, you haven't talked to them, you're like, yo, what's going on? I need this, and this. You can get it to me by Tuesday? That's cool. Yeah? All right, bet. Say no more. It's $500. All right, cool. And that's normal. That's not normal in Colombia. So two things, one, when you say hello, you ask for something, you say, hello, how are you? Not hello, how are you? Hola, ¿cómo estás? There you go. You're going to ask somebody how you are. However, the other thing is that we're not used to in the United States is people that don't know you will say hello to you, make eye contact, smile. You know why? Because even though you got all that money, people are a lot happier than you without half the money and half the things. People are just like, we're on this earth together. No, hello, how you doing? I grew up in Philadelphia. Somebody come up to you that does not know you, people are definitely looking at you like. So when you come here with these things, you got to realize release the baggage. You are leaving the United States for a reason. Don't bring it with you. Don't bring it with you. Now, we talk about the getting out of American rat race, why it is that I left. One of the things that I learned when I was here, though, because, there's a couple of processes that happen. Once you do all your homework and your legwork and everything, you've also got to go pack up everything. You go pack up everything, and then you realize, we talk about why America lied to you. I think that's in one of the headlines tonight. Why America lied? What America lied to you about? That's one of the things that we talk about. I think that's Thursdays, but it's so true because America told you to sell everything for stuff and things, and the opportunity to come live abroad is nothing about stuff and things. So many people are enamored by. No, don't get me wrong. You can get all this stuff, beautiful view, and these things for a lot cheaper. But you're going to realize that even once you get that, even making your stance from America to abroad, once you get here, you're going to realize that most of those people don't care. You're going to realize that during the time of Christmas, when people are picking up more shifts to put 58 groceries, not groceries, 58 more things under the Christmas tree for their loved ones. Most of these people are spending time with their family instead of spending time away from them for stuff and things. But we've traded our entire lives for this. Like I told you guys, I'm 37 years old. I literally had to decide, do I want to spend the next 30 years in America working for what it is that they'll allow me as they vastly increase the cost of what it is that I need to live here at the slow increase of what it is that I'm being paid to live here? I said no. You guys are at a crossroads right now. If you've been tuning in, and if you're tuned in this long, you're like, he might have said something. He might have said something that, kind of hit home. Things are going to continue to get more and more interesting in the United States. And depending on where you live, you might not even be in the United States. You might be looking at this from somewhere else. It's going to get more interesting. Why? Because things in the United States are going to get interesting. And despite I'm saying that, America ain't all that, it's a cool spot. There's a lot of other cool spots that may align better with what it is your, personal credo is. That's what it came down to me. But things are going to get interesting because if America gets interesting, things are usually dictated by America, and you'll see a lot of things that are weird. Like right now, if you're in America, you've been watching the news, right? And you guys, and I say you guys because you can look behind me. Ain't nobody got no drones. Nobody got no UAPs. Nobody got no UFOs. I have no idea what goes on in America at this point. And I say that it's not because I don't watch the news. It's because I'm literally looking at like, what next? What next? Literally, what next? What is going to be the final straw for you? Seriously, what's the final straw? If the eggs that now what is somebody tell me in the comments how much a dozen eggs cost where you guys are from. Uh, I think the last time I was just like, this is we're getting close to the federal minimum wage for like bare necessity groceries. Is that going to be it? Is that going to be it? Some people are literally like, I don't know. We've seen so many companies try to cater to people saying, I don't want to be here for the next 4 years. With with a question mark that whatever comes after 4 years is going to be better than what it is that they're escaping from. But I've seen Carnival cruises literally say like, we have a 4 year cruise. Got some information coming out about Virgin. I think they've got an annual pass. $120,000, two people plus tax and fees, all paid up front. We accept Bitcoin. They are willing to take everything because they know people are ready to go. What is it? it can't be. It can't be the mass incidents that keeps happening. That wasn't the final straw. That happened today. Probably happen tomorrow. It's the saddest thing. It's the saddest thing. Saddest thing ever in the United States that people are just like at will. And people ask me about safety here, right? People are always like, is it safe there? And I'm like, where do you think that you live at? Hmm? Where do you think you live? Because it can't be where I know that you live. Or you gotta think you live somewhere else. Mass incidents, it's not a thing that goes on in Colombia. Anywhere else, I am not privy to. I'll tell you the things that are like, hey, this is very general. However, I will tell you that mass incidents aren't necessarily an abroad thing. It's like a branded American. It's like grade A. It's like an apple. It's like apple pie for Americans at this point. And I'm like, I tell people, and I might say it in shock, and I'm like, this is crazy. Like they're looking at me like I'm nuts. Like I'm almost telling them a lie because you know why? They're not hearing that about America, except for a couple of people. Because if you go, some people are saying, "Oh, I don't want to go to Jamaica. It's a level 3." Like, "Oh, I don't want to go to Colombia. It's a level 2.5." What is America to the United States? So you ask me about safety, and I'm like, I feel a lot safer. I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Live in Atlanta, Georgia. Lived in Fort Lauderdale. All of those places are inner city where things are happening, especially Florida. And Florida, man, you think I'm worried about out here? I tell people all the time when they ask me about safety, I tell them one thing. What's up, Mojo? I tell them one thing. I say, there are so many single black women down here that should let you know everything you need to know about safety. And they're like, huh, yeah, because we're not playing and they're not playing. So when we talk about safety, yes, there are different things that you have to get into that you may be aware of that you don't necessarily have to. But depending on where you came from, you might already know exactly how to maneuver. Now, the good thing is you've already taken the first step in saying, okay, I'm willing to go listen to somebody that has already done it. Good for you. Good for you. There are so many other resources as we continue. Um, Single black woman there with her child. So there's no way that, a safety concern. And she's like, I gotta get out the United States because this has already been too much since I've been back. So it's it's a thing that is the straw. What is the straw that broke the camel's back? The camel was you, and the back was right back here, and it's been tapping you, and it's been saying like, is it time? Am I ready to go? Am I ready to make this decision? I don't know for you. This is just an opportunity to kind of self reflect with you guys on topics that I know because I'm getting these things. You guys jump on my DMs and messages. People that I haven't heard from in years are contacting me and saying, hey, like, what's it really like over there? People's timelines went from 3 years to 1 year to, wait a minute, I didn't even expect that to happen that fast. People already had it on their radar before the presidential election just because of the things that I've already mentioned to you that has nothing to do with any of those things. It's just when is enough enough? Once you get $10 out of me, you're gonna go get it 12. And 12 gonna lead to 15. $5 foot long. Remember y'all? Dollar menu. Remember that? I remember AirTran, $99. Woo, the good old days, right? Yeah, when you used to, and America was affordable. America ain't never been affordable. We've just been entranced with what it is that America sells us and not realizing that they will put third world country to tell you that you don't need to live there. And realistically, they have a better life and better quality of life than you do. Wake up, people. The time is now. I'm only one person. You guys are going to see so many people this week. We have a couple of people going to do some things a little different. I'll give you guys some information about that tomorrow from a timing perspective for Wednesday. We've got three special guests: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Thursday and Friday are normal times, so we'll be on at 6:30 with these guys. Whereas Wednesday, because it is a little special situation. It's a little different. So we do need to do this in the daytime. So we'll be a little bit like a lunch hour situation. America is the designer of the rat race. They are literally the owner of the Squid Game, and everybody signs up and is willing to go do the most, consume everything. Yeah, for certain, Mojo. Um, we've got uh we've got a parent coming on. She'll be able to talk to you guys a little bit about, because I know that's a touching topic. I do not have any hat for that. However, somebody will be able to give you what life is like with a kid here. Kids, I'm telling you, they're going to be a lot better off than here. They won't be in school doing drills. I'll tell you that. Never mind all of the the positive things, language, culture. It's such a beautiful experience that I'm seeing with other people's kids as they are living out here and saying, hey, America was enough. I'm not willing to raise my kid and that madness, as well as feed them that quality of food. It's so many things. Thursday we'll have Carolina on Medellin Expats services. She is somebody that is going to be your Colombian best friend. So for all those people that are a little nervous about, I don't speak Spanish, that's cool. She'll go to the bank with you. She'll guys help you with your Colombian passport. She's connected with all of the things that you need to make your job to move here super easy. Literally, that is what she does. I see her in all the chats every daggone day with a new person that she has helped. So she'll be on, answer some questions that you guys may have about her services, how it is that she can help you. And then Friday, we'll talk about our relocation tours. If you guys do not know, moodtravelcolumbia.com, that is where you can go. Sign up for the relocation tour. The relocation tour, we're going to get into why that is important on Friday and all of the details. However, I will tell you, whether it is Medellin or somewhere else, you need to go on a relocation tour esque like thing, somewhere that you can go over a number of days, see different neighborhoods, meet with people that can actually help you move abroad, real estate people, immigration lawyers, healthcare people. Like, you got to know, if you get sick, how do I get better? All of those things, these relocation tours bring you directly in front of these experts. The vets, there's a huge veteran community out here in Colombia. We're going to bring those people on so that you guys can get an understanding from anything that I might not be. You have the ability to be able to tap in, get this information so that you can go live your best life. Stop giving your money to the machine. I'm telling y'all, you will live your better life being able to do so. That flight from New Jersey all the way to Miami might cost $350, $400, depending on when you get it. I can go to Aruba, Panama, Costa Rica, all of these places for under $200. What are y'all doing still there? Y'all literally are trading your life away to just to say that you are living in America. Living in stop, stop, stop. If you're ready, if the straw hasn't broken your back as a camel, then keep doing what you're doing. But if you are ready to go, make certain that you guys are here. 6:30 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. We get into some real special topics. You know why? We kind of hinted on them a little bit. But tomorrow is special because we have to talk about two things, a little converse situation. You got your mental health in the United States, which we already know is stressed. On Tuesdays, we point out some things that you might already know subconsciously, but you got to get up and deal with it every day. You don't know how much it's been weighing on you. So we're going to talk about that on Tuesday. And we talk about the differences in mental health when living abroad. If you guys are interested in our expert conversations, you guys need to go to YouTube, go to Black Expat Life in Colombia. The information is there as far as the conversations that we've already had with the experts. We've got experts and immigration lawyers. We had Dr. Erica Wilkins that was on here talking about mental health abroad. So it's not just me talking to myself for an hour or 30 minutes. It's literally this and the ability, one, to get questions and answers from somebody that's already done it. Two, to make certain that you know that we're going to bring other people on this platform. Might not be every day, but it will be consistent enough to know that you're going to get a different perspective outside of what it is that I have to hear from you. You might want to catch this live. That's why we do them. The ability to go on YouTube is 100% there. But you got to realize all the work. It's two works you got to do. You got to do the home and you got to do the leg. You got to do the homework. So we get into all the homework that it is that you got to do. We're not keeping this right here. We letting it out. We're giving you guys the ability to find out what it is that we didn't know. And so many of us in the expat community did not know. You know how many months I was here and I was like, there is no way to actually digest this information about what barber is the person and what this person is good and who's vetted and who is not vetted and who do I go to for a rental a rental property. And there was so many different ways to find it and there was nowhere to kind of go. The experts weren't there in a friendly way where not only is it just some wasn't just some random number, it was, hey, here's some information and here's a video you can watch of this person actually talking about how it is that they can help you. You guys go to moodtravelcolumbia.com, MOOD, travelcolumbia.com. That's with two O's in Colombia. You guys will go there and you guys want to see that there are so many free resources. Visa information that is already set up so that you can figure out if you're looking for a visa once you get here, which one to get, which one you may qualify for, when the best times to come, when's the best time to possibly find a cheaper rental versus a higher rental. The blog is up. The experts information is not only there, contact information is there for all those experts. So make certain that you guys are reaching out. I wanted y'all to have it as easy as possible. So I put it all on there for y'all. You guys coming to this relocation tour March 12th to the 17th. Y'all make sure y'all take care of y'all mental health because it's going to keep getting a lot weirder. Like they literally said, I watched the news on Friday and all Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they was like, UFOs, aliens, UFOs, aliens. You know what came today? Monday and work again. What are we doing and what are we watching? I don't know. I have no idea. I know one thing though. I'm not going to be spending all my money just trying to say I'm in some place that is not even going to tell me what's going on. And the second thing is my quality of life has been so much better since it is that I moved out of the United States because I don't even have to worry about half the things that I was consumed with. Whether it was directly and I was like, can't turn the TV off because I can't believe this is happening, or storming the Capitol, like that kind of stuff, or just consumed in a way where I didn't even know that I was having an issue with the things that were going on around me until I realized I got myself out of them and realized that that's not a life that I have to endure. And I was like, I'm not coming back. And anybody knows me, I'm not coming back. My friends like, Senor Raj, how you doing? I'm like, yeah, because they know I'm not coming back. When they see me, it's a special occasion. We get chips and sauce allowed because it's beautiful. Seriously. So I'll tell you guys Tuesday, tomorrow, make certain y'all tuned in. 3 o'clock, we will be back on. If you guys don't know, 3 o'clock is our group travel days. We go over our group travel calendar. Tomorrow is February. We did January today. Get into all of that and what that looks like. And then 6:30, we're back talking about mental health. It's not often you see people that look like me talking about mental health, and I'm not a mental health professional. I'm talking about things that you're going to have to consider, both living there and you continuing living there, and the things that you might not have to consider moving abroad, and what that relief could look like. What kind of smile you could wake up with versus, I got to get out. Like right now, I can take this off, and I'm not going to be chilly. I'm going to be, but I know y'all somewhere where it's cold. It's December, and I know it's cold. I know it. And you might love the cold. And you know what I always see? People like, oh, I can't wait till the fall, and I can't wait till the winter. I can't wait. Eggnog and cuddling up to the Christmas carols. Man, as soon as that winter break, man, people be like, man, I don't know what I was talking about in the summer. I was tripping. I don't want to be in none of this. In Philadelphia, you have to you might have to worry about shoveling snow. Nope. So wherever you at, stay warm. If you in Philadelphia, I know how Philadelphia people do. This is the sign to turn your heat on. We are past Thanksgiving. I know it's cold there. Turn your heat on. Make sure y'all turn this back on too. 3 p.m. we'll be back for travel calendar, and 6:30 p.m. we'll be back talking about mental health, the difference between living life here, United States, and living abroad. As always, I appreciate y'all. Y'all stay safe. Anything that come up in between now and the time you're supposed to see me, jump in my DMs. My messages are open. Make certain that y'all are doing what y'all supposed to do as far as that homework, so that y'all can do this leg work, and then y'all can come out here and live y'all best life like the rest of us are. I'll see y'all soon. Talk to you later. Let me get everybody off TikTok. Got anybody left?